All right, so um, let's dive into something that could be like a total game changer for anyone out there, on the job hunt.
Yeah.
You sent over this like whole stack of info about RoleCatcher.
hmm
It's a platform, claims it can seriously up your career game. And honestly, who couldn't use a little boost in this job market? Am I right?
Right.
We're talking career guides, interview prep, even like some AI magic, it seems like.
Yeah, it's smart that you're looking into this.
Okay.
The job market is like a completely different beast than it used to be.
Right. Like, gone are the days of just polishing up the resume, sending it out there to the masses, and like hoping for the best.
Yeah.
Tell me, have you ever felt like your applications just disappear into like a black hole?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it turns out a lot of times it is a black hole.
Oh, no. Literally. Yeah. Companies are increasingly using these things called applicant tracking systems, or ATS for short,
Okay.
and they can be brutal.
Brutal. Okay. So we're talking like AI gatekeepers here.
Exactly. Before your resume even reaches an actual human, it has to pass muster with these algorithms that are
That's right.
scanning it for keywords, experience, even how well your resume is formatted.
Oh my gosh.
It's crazy.
So it's like there's this whole like secret handshake you need to learn to even get your resume seen by like a real person.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay.
And that's one of the things RoleCatcher seems to focus on, cracking the code of these ATS systems.
Okay, well, you had me at secret handshake.
Yeah.
So how does RoleCatcher actually help you tailor a resume
Yeah.
for these like robot recruiters? So their website mentions that they use AI that analyzes job descriptions and tells you what keywords and skills the ATS is looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Then it compares that to your resume and suggests improvements.
Okay, so it's not just about like cramming in every single buzzword and jargon.
Right.
It's about like speaking the specific language that this particular job, this
Yeah.
particular company's system is looking for.
That's the key.
Okay.
It's about giving you an edge without making you into a robot yourself.
Which, let's be honest, is a relief.
Right.
But like a killer resume will only get you so far. What about the interview? It seems like RoleCatcher has something up their sleeve for that too, right?
Oh, absolutely. They've got a massive database of interview questions, over 120,000 of them,
Wow.
which honestly seems a little overwhelming.
Yeah. Who has time to prep for 120,000 questions?
Right.
But what really caught my eye is that they emphasize going beyond like those generic answers. We've all been in those interviews where you're just like regurgitating what you think they want to hear.
It's the worst. It never feels genuine. And that's where RoleCatcher's AI, they call it Copilot, seems to set them apart.
Copilot, like having a little AI wingman in your ear.
Exactly. You can run your interview answers through Copilot, and it gives you feedback.
What kind of feedback?
Things like clarity, relevance, even your tone of voice.
Wow. Okay, I am very intrigued. So it's not just like spitting back canned answers. It's about finding that sweet spot between like being authentic and giving the interviewers what they need to hear.
Yeah, you got it. It's about honing your message and delivery so that you come across as confident, capable, and excited about the opportunity.
Which, speaking of being excited about the opportunity, brings me to another thing that kind of jumped out at me, these RoleCatcher career guides.
Right, right. Over 3,000 of them, covering just about every career path you can imagine.
3,000. Look, I like to think of myself as someone who's like pretty plugged into different career paths, but
Right.
even I'm feeling a little overwhelmed by that number. Can you give me an example of what one of these guides actually looks like?
Sure.
Like, I need some specifics here.
So they have a guide for woodturners,
Okay.
which I know sounds incredibly niche.
No, I love it. Give me all the details.
Okay, so it's not just like a boring job description.
Mm-hmm.
It breaks down what you would actually DO at different stages of your career, like entry level versus senior level. They even have these example profiles of real people
Yeah.
in those roles.
Hold on. Example profiles. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to read about a job. It's another to see how an actual person built a career out of it. Talk about taking the guesswork out of career planning.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
It's like having a crystal ball for your career, but instead of vague predictions, you're getting, concrete examples, potential salary expectations, even the pros and cons of that particular path.
This is what I'm talking about. It's all about making informed decisions, right?
Yeah.
But let's be honest. Sometimes, even with all the information in the world, job hunting can feel like this massive juggling act. Applications, networking, interview prep.
Oh, tell me about it. I
Oh.
once had.
Wait, before you tell me about it, does RoleCatcher offer any help with that whole organizational nightmare?
Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah.
I once had this like spreadsheet
Uh-huh.
with color-coded tabs, different sections for each job board. It was
Oh my
a
God.
mess.
Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about. That feeling of like, I need an assistant just to organize my job search.
Right,
But it sounds like RoleCatcher might actually be that assistant, at
right.
least digitally.
Yeah, you're not wrong. They have this browser plugin called RoleCatcher Capture.
Okay.
It's like a magic wand for job postings.
Okay, you have my attention. How does it work?
So say you're on Indeed, LinkedIn, any job site,
Mm-hmm.
and you see a listing that piques your interest.
Right.
You just hit this button, boom,
Okay.
and it saves that job
Saves it where?
directly to your RoleCatcher account.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
So no more like endless copying and pasting links trying to remember where you saw that perfect job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And once it's in your RoleCatcher dashboard, you can track your progress on each application, jot down notes about the company or the role,
Okay.
even link up relevant contacts from your network. It's all in one place.
That's amazing. But speaking of networking, that's another area where job searching can get really overwhelming. Does RoleCatcher offer any help on that front?
They do. And this is where the AI really starts to like flex its muscles.
Oh, do tell.
So remember how we talked about the jobs module where you can save and track job postings?
Right.
They have a similar system for your network.
Interesting. So instead of just having like a mental list of people you know in different industries, you're actually organizing it within RoleCatcher.
Right? You can import your contacts from different platforms, categorize them, even link them to specific job applications within RoleCatcher. But here's the kicker. Their AI can actually analyze your network
Okay.
and identify potential connections you might not even realize you have.
Wait, hold up. How is it doing that? Is it like reading our minds?
Not quite mind reading, at least not yet.
Okay.
It looks at your work history, your education, any professional organizations you're a part of.
Mm-hmm.
It can even scan your email and social media profiles
Oh.
for these weak ties, people you've interacted with who might be relevant to your job search but wouldn't necessarily be on your radar.
Okay. That's kind of freaky, but also incredibly cool. It's
Right.
like having this super sleuth uncovering hidden connections that could help you get your foot in the door.
It's like LinkedIn on steroids. It takes the awkwardness out of networking by making those connections clear and actionable.
This is blowing my mind a little, I'm not going to lie. But I also have to ask the million-dollar question. What about the cost? Is all this AI career magic going to require me to take out a second mortgage?
You'd be surprised. They actually have a free membership tier that gives you access to a lot of what we've talked about.
Really?
The career guides a certain number of interview questions.
Wow.
Even that RoleCatcher Capture
Yeah.
browser plugin.
Wow, okay. So you can start taking advantage of these features without having to shell out any cash up front.
Yeah,
But I'm guessing their premium tier, the one with this Copilot AI, that's where things get really next level.
you're right. They call it RoleCatcher Copilot AI, and it essentially unlocks the full AI-powered arsenal. That's where you get the in-depth resume, tailoring the personalized interview feedback,
Yeah.
even more advanced networking features.
Oh, so it's like going from a standard GPS to a self-driving car.
Perfect analogy.
Okay.
It's about getting that extra edge and support, especially in today's ultra-competitive job market.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. But even with all these tools and technologies, there's still this like lingering question in my mind. With all this talk about AI and algorithms, it makes you wonder, like, does the human touch even matter anymore?
Yeah.
Or are we all just trying to sound like robots to please other robots?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Mm.
And honestly, I think it's one of the biggest misconceptions about using tools like RoleCatcher. It's not about replacing the human element. It's about, like, enhancing it.
Okay. I like where you're going with this. So how do you balance using these tools to your advantage while still letting your personality, your actual experience, like, shine through?
So think of it this way. RoleCatcher gets your foot in the door,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still up to you to walk through it. The AI can help you craft a killer resume and, like, practice your interview answers,
Right.
but it can't replicate your unique story, your passions, those soft skills that make you, well, you.
So it's like having this like really high-tech toolbox, right? You've
Yeah.
got all the gadgets and gizmos, but you still need the skill and the vision to use them effectively.
Exactly. You're not trying to become a robot, right?
Right.
You're using technology to free up your time and mental energy.
Yeah.
So you can focus on those, like, uniquely human elements that really make you stand out.
Because at the end of the day, it's still a human being who's making the hiring decision.
Absolutely. And that's why things like networking, building relationships, being able to hold a conversation and connect with someone on a personal level, Those are skills that will never go out of style.
It's like that saying, people hire people, not resumes.
Exactly.
This has been so eye-opening, honestly. I feel like we've just scratched the surface of what RoleCatcher can do.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But at its core, I think RoleCatcher represents this larger shift in, like, how we approach our careers these days.
Okay.
It's not just about what you know or who you know. It's about how effectively you can leverage technology and information to achieve your goals.
It's like leveling up your job search strategy for the digital age.
Exactly.
So for someone listening to this, someone who's maybe feeling a little overwhelmed by the job market, what's like the one key takeaway you want them to remember about RoleCatcher and really about the future of work in general?
I think the job market is changing rapidly, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But your ability to adapt, to learn, to showcase your unique value to the world, those are the skills that will always be in demand.
Mm-hmm.
Tools like RoleCatcher can give you an edge, but it's up to you to, like, step up to the plate and swing for the fences.
Okay, well said. And on that note, we'll leave you with this thought. In a world where AI is playing an increasingly prominent role in the job search process, how can you stay ahead of the curve, not just in terms of technology, but in terms of developing those uniquely human skills that will always be in demand? Until next time, happy job hunting, and may the algorithms be ever in your favor.